Assalamualaikum. I am Zahid Farooq and you are watching your channel Health and Safety Knowledge. Let's start what we are going to discuss on today's topic. In the last lecture we have read so far the effective communication, that is written communication method, verbal communication method and graphical representation communication method. Today we are going to discuss on the related topic of effective communication, that is broadcasting method. There are various ways of broadcasting health and safety communication using the three media, that is written, verbal and graphical communication method. Each of these methods have their own limitations and benefits, and in the broadcasting method these three types of communication methods are used effectively to make better understanding among the workers at the workplaces. The first broadcasting method that is most widely used at the workplaces is notice boards. Notice board, first of all, in its looking should be eye-catching and attractive. These notice boards should be located at the main entrance points and at the corridors and rest areas of the workers. And notice board should be current, relevant, up to date and should be to the point so that everyone may got interested in the notice boards communications. Typical content might be included in the notice boards, that is emergency procedures, health and safety policy, and identify of safety representatives and first aiders, minutes of the meetings, and accident and statistics data of the organization. The second method in the broadcasting domain is posters and videos. These broadcasting methods are used to provide safety information and drawing attention to particular issues and supporting the safety culture. Although this method have advantage and disadvantage due to its using. Films and videos are mainly used in training programs and if well made can be attractive and can hold the audience attentions at all. The next broadcasting method is toolbox talks. These are short, typical, practical safety briefing carried out at every start of the work by the supervisors at the workplaces. They can be useful for generating awareness and discussion on safety methods and precautions as well, but may be seen as dull or a wastage of time if topics are irrelevant or poorly represented to the workers. The other method is memos and emails. These both memos and emails are obviously written communication methods. These are basically notifications used to provide specific information about a single issue, such as updating procedures, technological changes, process changes, and drawing attention to lapses in practices When using memos, there is usually no chance of feedback from the workers, or there is no chance of questioning, so their use is really limited to issue clear and precise instructions or information. The next topic is of broadcasting method, that is workers handbook. The workers handbook is a book that is provided to the workers who is going to induct at the workplaces at different organizations. These handbooks provide work methods, safety precautions, and give the awareness to the workers about how to deal with the emergency procedures and to reporting of incidents and accidents. This is a key document containing information such as site rules, arrangements, and reporting system. It is a standard practice to issue the workers handbook as part of the workers induction and to get a receipt as report of issue. The next is very important part of the communication method, that is cooperation and consultation. A positive safety culture can only be created if organization is committed with his worker to cooperate and giving them chances to be involved in the decision making process. If the workers feel that they are being dictated to them, they will show little ownership for health and safety. Indeed, they may start to actively represent their authorities if they are going to feel that their issues are prioritized at every stage of the consultation and decision making process. They would own the responsibility in the context of health and safety matters. The most effective way to avoid the negativity of the consultation among the worker and to actively encourage the worker interest and ownership is to involve the worker in the decision making process, which is best achieved through the workers consultation. An employer does not have to consult with employees on everything, but practically health and safety issues should be consulted. Where consultation would be appropriate include the introduction of measures affecting the health and safety management system, the appointment of advisor and specialists, health and safety training plans, the introduction of new technology into the workplaces that will affect the health and safety policy. There are two methods that are most widely used to consult the workers at the workplaces. The first method is direct consultation. The employer talks directly to the workers and resolves issues as they occur. This works well in very small organization but is ineffective at large organization. The second consultation method is worker representatives. A health and safety committee is established made up of key arrangements of management system, and workers representatives are involved in the consultation process. This committee meets regularly to discuss health and safety issues to resolve their concerns. Workers' representatives even have specifically additional rights under local law, such as time off with pay trainings. These all were the factors that are very important to improve the health and safety behavior at the workplaces. The people who are new on my channel are requested to subscribe my channel and like my videos so that a good initiative and appropriate involvement from your side might be highly appreciated from me. Thank you so much.